My forthright child, this is not a lesson you should learn early in life. It would seem that life is configured in such a way so as to force us to commit errors with the goal of enriching us through the consequences. One of these errors is self-love. Do not even attempt to delve into the literature. This subject is among the most misinterpreted. When the dew is still on the rose, you will worry about retaining the admiration, respect, and affection of others. You will elicit all sorts of avowals, from the most creative and eternal to the most mundane and transitory. You will take pride in these and will invest much time in ensuring that they are sufficiently acknowledged. Then, on an ordinary day, you will glimpse someone of ordinary appearance, perhaps even homely, and you will ask yourself what you would do if you had to live from that moment on in that person's body. The horror you experience will be the first sign that your vision has begun to transcend the bounds of your ego. Even when you believe that you love someone, what you are really experiencing is the pleasure of perceiving that person in your consciousness. This is why lovers are so happy to find each other, because as of that moment, the other person's existence is perceptible. But joy does not follow them throughout the existence of the beloved. Instead, one becomes bitterly estranged or suffers knowing that the other could be happy with someone else. The love we speak of in most of our songs is intense, without a doubt, but it is still egotistical. Legend would have us believe that the egoist is so in order to attain pleasure, while the altruist suffers because of his sacrifice. But nature tells us just the opposite. In the short run, it would seem that defending our ego would be the way to avoid anguish, but over time, the constant vigil becomes a living hell. Self-love requires so much maintenance and is so vulnerable that, ironically, it ends up putting us in everyone else's hands. Our lives are reduced to a never-ending quest for respect, keeping up appearances, and giving off an aura of success. We worry about inspiring trust and being attractive to both sexes to provoke their lust and envy. We do not even need extreme examples. The attention demanded by the average person's ego is an inexhaustible source of tribulation. Closely observe the anguished shame on the faces of those who know they are ordinary, bald, or overweight, and note the sadness in their eyes when their shortcomings are plainly evident, even though out of politeness, no one points them out. We are all in the same boat. It is as if, out of cruelty, the mollusk were endowed with sufficient self-awareness to realize how slow, defenseless, and slimy he is. Even so, he would know that he could not change his state for as long as he lived. That is what we human beings are, conscious mollusks. Youth is an extraordinary fantasy, a brief vacation from hideousness. Nature is not troubled by the brevity of youth, because each day it sprouts a new flower. A new wave of freshness is always ready to dance at the first light of dawn. If we hang on to our egoism, believing that the edge of daybreak has the obligation to remain with us always, we miss out on the spectacle it mounts for us. Contemplation will rescue you from the prison of the ego, dear girl. Do not wait until your ego has become an illness to begin practicing it. Appreciate the existence that takes place outside of you. Feel gratitude, and use the gift of contemplation to enjoy the beauty that is in the world, even when your body is failing. discover new forms of beauty to contribute to the world. Who admires you, who loves you, or who notices you will be the last thing that matters to you then. You will be enthralled listening to the concert of life, and your every care will vanish, except perhaps the worry that everyone else might miss the show. Ironically, once the ego is dissolved, not repressed, it will be transformed into a source of admiration and respect. You will reject flattery, not out of humility, but rather because you will understand that those who are served by it are not yet as evolved as you, and are distracted by ranking individuals instead of contemplating the lovely, faceless assemblage of humanity as a whole.